Welcome to Schools Channels TV.
Liam has sold hundreds of first guns to people who are starting out in the wonderful world of shooting.
The first thing that I would ask is whether you're going to be shooting clays or you're going to be shooting game. The difference is usually the weight of the gun. A game gun is a lot lighter. You can identify it by a smaller width rib, whereas a sporter, to shoot clays, has a thicker rib. A clay gun, because of the amount of targets that you will be shooting, the slightly heavier gun means that you will feel less recoil. We have Brownings, Berettas, Marukus, which are the three top brands, or most recognised brands of guns. You could get away with spending as little as £750 on something like this Silma. It's quite an attractive little gun, and it's quite light and well within a decent budget. If your budget is £400, £500, £600, there are plenty of guns in that price range to choose from. However, if you want to go into the competitive side of things, then you need to sort of try and stretch your budget a little bit more to get into the bottom end of the better quality guns. So your Berettas, your Brownings, your Marukus. Okay, for example, your Browning 525 grade 1 is £1,300, £1,400. And then you can go anywhere, sort of Berettas, similar sort of price range. Your Marukus are the similar sort of range. So from £1,300 to about £1,800, you can get yourself into that higher quality end of the gun market.
Liam recommends that you include in your gun buying a decent shooting instructor.
I'd recommend you always seek professional advice. You need to come to a shop that offers a gun fitting service to make sure that the gun fits you properly. He will take you out and he will show you the differences between the guns and get a gun that will suit you and suit the way that you shoot and the way that you're taught to shoot.
Ruben Kenyapan is a new shooter who is going through exactly this process.
My partner is very horsey, so we went to the CLA Game Fair, and that's where I bumped into the Oxford School. And then I came down in September, had a 1 hour lesson with Jeff, really enjoyed it, came back and another one, and then decided to put in for my licence. And I've been coming twice a month now from shooting. I started off with a Spati Falcon 12 gauge, really nice gun, good gun. It's more of a hunting style gun. So I recently, as of Monday, bought myself a Beretta Silver Pigeon Sporter, which I've shooting today for the first time. When I bought the Spati Falcon from here, and Doug and Jeff both helped me with the gun fit, and we found the one off the shelf that fit me the best. So I looked for another gun within my new price range with the same dimensions of stock and coma drop and things, and the Silver Pigeon lined up very, very well with it. Yeah, it seems really, really good actually. Score today is probably one of the best scores I've had doing 100 sporting, so I don't know if it's down to the good gun or the fact that I'm just getting better.
Watch this. When you mount the gun, stand there.
Yep.
When you mount the gun, it's sort of, your head's well up here, okay? And that happens. Don't bring the gun back into the shoulder. No. Mount where you're going to kill it, and leave your head, bring the gun down, leave your head exactly where it is. And then all you've got to do is the reverse. Okay, give it a go. So firstly, mount where you're going to kill it, okay? So bring that head forward. See, that's where you need to be, okay? Right, when you bring the gun out of your shoulder, when you bring the gun out of your shoulder, your head stops exactly where it is, and you just repeat that process of that. You don't pull the gun backwards, okay? So lower the gun one more time. Okay, ready?
And they always let you mount up in the mirror and give you a slap on the back of the head if you're doing it wrong, so it was quite friendly.
Slowly and nicely, one more.
Still want to just carry on as a hobby, just carry on. I want to get my score at 100 sporting in the high 70s, but just generally enjoy being outdoors and being in the atmosphere really of everyone else.
Now let's talk to Doug Florent, who owns the shop and has decades of experience selling guns. And he has strong views about 20 bores.
I will never sell somebody a 20 bore. If somebody really wants a 20 bore, then we will certainly look at it. Generally, you will find that 12 bores will cater for 99% of the people. 20 bores, from my experience, tend to be something which people buy as a second gun for fun. If you have youngsters, young ladies or young boys that want something a bit lighter, go for a 20 bore by all means. But general adults stick with the 12. You tend to relate size of gun to size of person. So if you've got somebody that's 6'2", you wouldn't sell them a little tiny gun. And if you've got somebody that's 4'6", you wouldn't sell them a great big gun. Generally, barrel length, you want to be talking 28 or 30. And again, you would tend to relate that to the size of the person. But it actually doesn't make any difference to the way the gun shoots. It doesn't make it shoot any further, any tighter, anything like that. If you come to me and say, I want a 30-inch, and then you pick up a 28-inch and say, I prefer that, I can't tell you wrong. Yeah, it's what feels right to you. If people come in and ask for 32-inch and they're new shooters, generally I will do my best to talk them out of it. A 32-inch gun is generally too much for a new shooter. 50% of the people that come into us to buy 32-inch barrel guns, within 6 months come back and say they want to part exchange it for something slightly shorter.
Over the years, Doug has learned a level of tact with gun buyers.
We do have people that come in, they go out with a gun, they tried a so-and-so and they didn't shoot very well with it. Is that because the gun doesn't suit them or because they're doing everything wrong? The way to do it really is to come in, we look at the gun, we look at you, we spend a little bit of time getting you standing correctly and holding the gun correctly. That is most important. We do get people coming to us that have been looking at a gun, oh, I can't hit anything with that. It might not be the gun, it might be them. So again, it's back down, what Liam said, it's back down to go into a shop where the people know what they're talking about and listening to what they have to say.
If you are thinking of buying a gun, Doug recommends going to a shop that's attached to a clay ground.
We had a shop in London and 30 years ago we decided to move out. I had a thing that I thought that the days of high street gun shops were numbered. And the problem that you have with a high street gun shop is you go into a high street gun shop to buy a gun. If you know exactly what you want, what fits you and so on, that's fine. But when you've got a gun shop attached to a shooting grounds, we can prove that what we're saying is right. The only promise we ever make to anybody here is what we tell you in here, we will justify out there. I'm a bit like the old Jewish tailor. When you walked into a Jewish tailor shop in the East End of London, by the time you got to the counter, he knew exactly what your measurements were. And we have the same here. Somebody walks in the door, and by the time they get from the door to the counter, I have a good idea of what will fit them. You get people that are short and fat and no neck. You get people that are very tall and thin, long necks, high cheekbones. So you immediately know whether they want a short fat stock or a long slim stock or whether you want height in the comb. That only comes with experience. Yeah, so we're not necessarily choosing the make, we're choosing the stock dimensions that we know will fit them as near as possible off the shelf.
Doug has a few years on Liam, but like Doug, Liam knows that a combination of choice and expert guidance goes a long way to making a happy gun buyer.
What we do is we take the guns in your price range and we fit the best one to you in your price range. Okay, if you had £1,000 to spend on a gun, we would take all the guns from that price range, lay them out, and we would find the best gun to fit you off of the shelf. What we would do, we'd check the fit inside the store, and then we would take you out, get you onto the grounds and get you shooting some basic targets.
And now we have the Schools Challenge news.
Matt French has become the first British shooter of the 2015 season to make a World Cup final. Matt won out in a 5-way shoot-off for the last 3 places in double trap at the Acapulco World Cup. He finished in 5th place, pushing the 2008 Olympic gold medalist and double world champion Walton Ella of the USA into 6th place. Sky News reckoned it had a big story when it announced that 8-year-olds have been issued shotgun certificates by police in England. However, as the policeman they interviewed wearily pointed out, the Firearms Act of 1968 allows someone of that age to have a shotgun. Sky News' Freedom of Information request revealed that 670 under-14s have been given shotgun certificates by police in the last 5 years. Instead of causing a news shockwave, the figure simply reaffirms that shooting is a popular sport for young people. Tomorrow marks the start of the Schools Challenge competitions with the Oxford Schools Challenge. This is the first event in which individuals aged under 21 can get their first qualifying score for the TSC 10th anniversary final, where there is a car up for first place. For more information on how to get into that final, visit theschoolschallenge.co.uk. Next week is the University Championships and entries are filling up fast. This competition is open to under 25-year-olds at any university or college. The Oxford Gun Company held a month-long fun competition in February to get shooters ready for the clay shooting season. Congratulations to all the shooters that shot the course, especially Phil Eastman, who came first overall with a score of 87x100 and walked away with an Escort semi-auto shotgun. Chris Childerhouse came second with 86 and earned £210 worth of Jack Pike products, and Steve Lovett's third place with 83 brought him £160 worth of Sealands products. It is with great regret we advise of the passing last week of Bob Braithwaite MBE. Bob was a vet by profession and an enthusiastic shooter. He was a member of the Great Britain shooting team at the 1964 Tokyo Olympics, finishing 7th in the Olympic trap event. 4 years later, in 1968 in Mexico, using his trusty Browning, he missed 2 clays in his first round of 25 and then went on to shoot the remaining 175 targets straight to win gold, equalling the Olympic record. Now it's competition time. Do you want to win a knife and a bag from Jack Pike plus a copy of Go Shooting? If so, you just need to answer this question. Which of these clay disciplines is not the basis for an Olympic event? Is it skeet, trap, sporting? Email A, B or C to david@schoolschallenge.co.uk. The winner will be revealed on the 24th of March 2015. Now back to gun buying. Let's get technical and look at the 3 stock measurements that gunsmiths use to fit a gun.
You have several measurements on a gun, some of which causes a problem. The first measurement that you have on a gun is the drop. The drop is the difference between that measurement and that measurement measured from the rib. People assume that makes the gun shoot where you want it to shoot. That actually doesn't. That dictates where your back sight, which is your eye, goes in relation to the rib. So the object of the game is to get your back sight, which is your eye, there. If your eye is there, then where you look, the end of the gun will go. If your back sight is over there, you don't have a master eye problem, you have a gun mounting problem. If your back sight is there, then probably you will need to either change your stance or put some cast on the gun. We then have a measurement called pitch. The difference between that measurement and that measurement is the pitch. That's called the heel and that is called the toe. The toe measurement should always exceed the heel measurement because that gives you what they call pitch. Makes the gun shoot there. The third measurement that they used to use many years ago was what they called a face measurement. And the face measurement is there. over the years, face measurement, they still give you cast, which is that measurement. So the cast is moving the stock from there to there. When you have a gun that fits properly and your mounting technique is good, we then have reached a situation where you can forget completely about the gun, because where you look, the gun will point.
For more about gun fitting, visit oxfordguncompany.co.uk.
That was Schools Challenge TV. I hope you enjoyed this programme. For more information on anything you've seen in this programme, please like us on Facebook or go to our website.